like I need to be buckled in somehow, but I don't. I do not need to be buckled in somehow. Move this over here. Move this over here. Where all the chats can be close together. Hi! Just realized I never finished posting last week's VOD. That's embarrassing. I had it all ready and then I think it's even uploaded. I just never went through the timestamps and I never got a thumbnail. Hello, welcome in. Welcome in. Embarrassing. I got a little carried away. I've been playing more D&D and I've got a server where I play D&D and I got very carried away with that and then lost track of time and then I was like, oh my god, we go live like right now and here we are. So anyways, hi, how are you all? How's it going? What have you been up to this week? I'm like RPing in the server and I'm like, oh my god! Oh, I need to charge my watch actually. That reminded me. That reminded me. I should probably top this off as well. I just raced over and started my hot beverage. That's so real though. I had a really, I don't want to say it was a bad week, but I did like a little caffeine detox after a long, hi Happy Hazel Dreams. I had a long fun weekend with friends, but I went way overboard with caffeine and then I was like, I had already been kind of ramping up my caffeine intake over the past few like weeks before that. And then I just like nonstop was drinking caffeinated soda and coffee. And then it was real bad, and I was like needing all of that when I got back, and I was like so short on sleep and so tired, and just kept drinking caffeine, and so I decided I'm gonna just do a cold turkey detox, and I went for like 5 days without coffee or any caffeine, and it was extremely headache filled and painful. And then people kept being available to play D&D with me on my little server that I'm on. It's not my server, in the little server that I'm on. And then I pulled several very late nights. I am not a 4 a.m. person, but I was up till 4 a.m. 2 nights in the last like 5 or 6 days playing D&D. And that really also was a lot of fun, but a struggle bus in terms of my existence. So that was a lot of fun, totally great. And then now I'm still like several days later recovering from very late nights. Homie, hello Janazik. How are you? Yeah, caffeine headaches suck. Hazel, we got yours last time, or did we not? I'm pretty sure we got yours. For stories, just making sure I'm remembering correctly. Anyways, it's been a wild last week from caffeine, detox, headaches, and I was pretty sure, but I don't want to assume and have you be like, but I was supposed to be on the list. Because I've done that to people and I feel bad about it. Yeah, anyways, that sucked, and then I just had a really great weekend of D&D. And then just now, I was still RPing for that when I had gotten home. One of my new boys, I have a new rogue warlock, and he just reached warlock level 3. So he was casting Find Familiar on the beach because he's a pirate. So he made a sand castle. And in the sand, he didn't make the sandcastle to cast Find Familiar, but I had him in the sandcastle make like the little pit to like burn the charcoal and incense or whatever. And one day we shall play together, shall be glorious. That sounds like a plan. That sounds like something that should happen. Darks with wigs, hello. Roguelocks are the best. I'm loving him so far. I am finding him so far the easiest to put my personality into, to put my like. I'm still learning like. It's a lot of mechanics to keep track of, even at this low level. I've only taken him out on an adventure with 1 level of rogue, 2 levels of warlock. I'm gonna go swashbuckler for rogue, but he doesn't have any of those features yet. And do I get? Hold on, I have to write that down. Sorry. Song idea. Do I get sneak attack? Sorry. I think I have one or two non. Do I even have more than one? I have one non-multi-class character. My draconic sorcerer boy. But yeah, one level rogue, 2 levels of fathomless warlock. So swashbuckler, fathomless combo. So I'm having his story be, he's been kind of unfolding, revealing himself to me as I play him. That sounds weird. And so far the story is that he lost a bet and swore fealty to a kraken, and he thought the whole thing was a prank and that his friend was pranking him, because who on earth gets tentacle magic? Tentacles! Look at these tentacles! Anyways, it's really unlocked a level of humor that I never expected to play out. It's just a prank. The prank. Yeah, he just had a long series, and this is the RPing that I was doing earlier. He just had a very long series conversation with, like, basically a retired adventurer who had a lot of the same type of situation going on. Not exactly the same, but, yeah. And he's like, dude, you messed up. You did not, that was not a prank. You gotta look into this and maybe try to figure out a little bit more. You good, bro? You good? You okay? Achoo! Achoo! He makes me worried sometimes that I need to know, is dog CPR a thing? I think he's just inverted sneezing though. Achoo! You good? The puppy. Anyways, I am low on sleep, so especially if we don't have many people here who have not been read, I may keep it real short. We'll see. I am going to go finish making my hot beverage. Bless you. Hello, Ren. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes he sneezes if we pretend to sneeze. Like, he'll get there, and then it helps him deal with it. Whoopsies, accidentally on purpose sold my soul. But yeah, I'm gonna go get my hot beverage. If you are here and you're lurking and you have a story that I have not read for you that you submitted, let me know. We'll get you on the list. Hello, Night Straw. Yes, dogs will do. It pretends sneeze to notify that they're playing. This I do know. He does it a lot. He doesn't bite, but he is very mouthy. So it's like kind of. It's like, I say it's not biting. It technically is like, he gets mouthy, but he's not biting. He's like placing. These are things I should probably not put on the internet. Images of me doing that. I'm gonna go get my hot beverage. Sing my tabaxi monk. I am gonna keep hydrated. I'm gonna go get my hot beverage, and then we'll be right back. Burb. Okay, I'm here. Everything's good. We're all fine. All is well. Hate detangling long wigs. Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare. Sounds like a nightmare. When I grew up, I had hair beyond my butt, and I basically just refused to learn how to take care of it because I didn't want it. And that was bad enough. Thank you. I will never do that again because dealing with long ass hair, except not ass hair, long hair at the length of an ass. I'm very tired still. I'm still catching up on a pretty severe sleep deficit, so don't mind me. Wasn't allowed to cut it till I was 16. I'm trying to remember when it started getting short. I think because the older you can tell through, if you like look at pictures of me through my teenage years, you can see the more and more autonomy I had, the shorter and shorter my hair got. And then at some point, I mean, for a long time, I was also in denial as to my identity. I was in deep repressive denial. So, like, there was a point at which you can kind of see, like, it was still pretty short, but it was still quite feminine. And then at some point, I did a big road trip. And I remember when I was in Maine. That was the first state we went to after that. It must have been in New Jersey. Because we did a little bouncing around on the East Coast. Anyways, I do know it was in New Jersey, and I think Maine was one of the states we went to shortly after that. As I remember something. I forget what. I remember that I forget. Anyways, didn't just shave it. I shaved it. I shaved it off. And then I used a razor blade. I didn't do it. I had my friends do it. But I buzzed it off, and then we shaved it with like a razor blade, the way that you would like shave your legs. Just because I wanted to be able to, I was like, if I'm going to buzz my hair that short, I want to be able to say that I've just literally shaved my whole head. I was bald. I never went that short again. I never did it again. But I was like, if I'm going this short, at least this one time, I want to do the whole thing. I want to be able to say I was bald for a moment. So I did that just to be able to say that I could do it, that I did it. And it was also for me symbolic in general because it felt like it was a symbol of my... Hi, Strep. Hi, Strep. How you doing? Good to see you. It was when I like shaved, it was a symbol of my letting go of all the expectations everyone had of me. Because when I had first started asking, like, oh, like, I don't know, back when Facebook mattered, I was like, oh, I think I'm going to shave my head. And everyone's like, don't do that. You'll look weird. Your head will have a funny shape, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, screw you. Watch this. So it's kind of an act of defiance. And for me, it was this, like, release of all the expectations and knowing that I could... There's a kind of relief when you know, like, oh, if I mess my haircut up, I've already been bald. Like, what's the worst it can be? I can just cut it all the way off. It's nice seeing you on the big screen rather than my phone. It's actually an electric cello that I am still learning how to play. Anyways, yeah. It was very symbolic moment for me. I don't know that I would ever want to. I can't say I looked amazing that way, but it's nice to know. Yeah, it's Get rid of this here. I still haven't unpacked fully from when I got back from my little hangout like 2 weeks ago. I'll show you. Oh, it's already out of tune. I haven't touched it for like a week. I don't know if it looks more sizable now that it's in my hands. But this is my electric cello. My electric cello that needs all of its strings fixed right now. The weather's been weird. Oh, I can see like all of that can completely undone. Oh, I gotta fix that. Hello, Marie Shady. I've just been rambling about my characters and my personal life in the past. So far, nobody here has a character that hasn't been read yet. Today may be the first day where within the first well, definitely the first 15 minutes that nobody had a character to be read. I was also saying I'm on an extreme sleep deficit. Ren, have we not read your character? Could have sworn we've read your character, but also I'm not seeing you on the list. How is this? How is this? Is today the fabled day? Hello, Epic Red Gal. Still have to write my NPC properly to send them your way? Heck yeah. Hello, Athena. How are you? Oh boy. How about we add Rin and then presents. First time I managed to catch you when your list wasn't full? Yes, sweet tea, just in time for dinner. What's dinner today? Joining the sleep deprived gang? Yes, remember to hydrate or die straight. Yeah, last week was caffeine detox headache. This week is I'm having a lot of fun, and that's why I'm sleep deprived. But I am sleep deprived from D&D. I love D&D so much. I love playing TTRPGs. Pasta question mark? Oh my god, yesterday I still felt pretty good. Yesterday at kickboxing. But apparently I was not good. Because usually, so you can see I'm a pretty pale person. I'm a pretty pale person. And usually when I do a bunch of sports of any kind, I become a tomato. I know this for a fact. And yesterday, instead of being a tomato, apparently I turned into a sheet, which is not what you want. So by the end of class, like, the teacher, she was like, chill, have this, and she gave me something to chew on. I don't know what it had in it. It was not candy, but it definitely had a little bit of sugar in it, and I don't know, can you put electrolytes in, like, a chewable? And then she had me, like, drink some water and eat that before rejoining slowly again. But, like, I felt like I could keep trying, but she made me stop, which was a first for me. Sleep deprived from D&D gang! The best kind of sleep. Like, if you're gonna be sleep deprived, let it be because you're having fun, right? Playing fantasy games. Right. We had a marathon. Our group did like 24 hours straight. Oh my god. I think 6.5 hours. Maybe the longest I've gone. We had our first Stride session yesterday and ended up playing until like 2 a.m. Oh, I was saying earlier I played till 4:30 in the morning. I don't know if I specified that. But 4:30 in the morning. Ridiculous. I am not a 4 a.m. in the morning person. I am a in bed by 11, hopefully sleeping by midnight person. Really left to my own devices, I would be sleeping by like 10 p.m., but that is just not in the cards ever. 8 is our longest. We rented a beach house. Your characters or you all did to like rent a beach house to play? Ooh. Literal beach episode, amazing. We did 5e, play the beach for fun. Yes. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm kind of vamping because I don't think I'm going to read too many stories today, and I'm tired. There's not a lot of new folks to have read live for them. I still may read a few random stories today, which will be the first time we're reading through random stories. So I do want to like read a little bit with y'all, but I am not going to have a lot of like bard performance in me today. It's weird because I'm feeling good, but I know I'm not right. Does that make any sense? I'm on some kind of like D&D tired euphoria, but also this is also the first week that I haven't posted the VOD. From last week, I kept forgetting when I had time, or I just haven't had a lot of energy. When I say I haven't had time, I mean I was prioritizing playing D&D over finding a thumbnail and finding timestamps in the video. So my apologies. That VOD is almost ready, except that I need to put thumbnails on it, and I haven't done timestamps for the last 2 videos. I feel guilty. I need a better system for that. I don't know what that is, other than like having more time and energy that I just cannot pull out of my ass. Longest we went was 14 hours for the Halloween one shot. Amazing. How was Strahd, by the way? I play D&D every Friday for 5 years. Can't even count how many times you play. Yeah, 2 a.m. 2 a.m. I've done many times. 4 a.m. That is not a thing that I can do in my 30s anymore. Not regularly. I said that the other day and then did it 2 nights in a row. I'm functional and fulfilled, but fully out of flair. Brooke, have we read your story yet? Because currently only one person is on the list, and I'm just kind of rambling about life and characters right now. I'm taking it very easy today. Again, I feel like I have like very good... Did we read Aurora? I know I've read I'm pretty sure I've read an Aurora. If you don't know, then the answer is almost certainly not. I tend not to read characters if the person is not present. It's session 1 and my bard is already possessed by a child's ghost. You're in your 30s/5. 35s? No one says 35s. Yeah, it's possible. It's a good chance. This is session 20. But you would have probably been here if I did that. I am turning 35 in May. I don't know if that was a question. I'm hitting my mid-30s. I mean, I guess technically mid-30s would be what, 34 to 36 or 7? Oh, I couldn't find a question mark. You thought I was like 24. No, I am 34, and I am turning 35 in a couple of months. Hello, Goose. Welcome in. I have what they like to call a baby face. It is not like, I feel like it's getting where you can tell in a lot of cases. I will say I put myself in excellent lighting for these. So it really tries to make me look as good as possible, of course. I have not yet had an original character die during a campaign. I have 2 long-running campaigns. And they're my first 2 campaigns that I've, like, actual campaigns. I've been in a lot of random one-shots. I have my characters on a server that I play, but that works a lot differently than a campaign. If I do read it, I'll apologize for lack of punctuation. It's okay. Sometimes I struggle a little bit with the writing styles because there's a lot of different writing styles and whatnot. So yes, sometimes I struggle a little, but I think every time I've managed to get there. Bards and their youthful appearances. If you read mine, I'm so sorry. Rosie Posey, welcome in. I probably didn't. Today, well, at this point, we do have a small list, at least. But so far, people know when I'm going to read their story. I haven't read a story for someone who didn't know I was about to read it, at least. I think some folks have had to bounce in the middle of their story being read, because that's how life works. But I don't think I've ever read a story yet. I thought it might be today, but maybe not. We now have several people in line. I don't think I've ever done it where I read a story for someone who had no idea that I was reading their story. I'm from the UK, so I apologize for different spellings. No problem at all. I am from the States, but I am now based in Germany, and I do most of the English that here is written in British English. That's reassuring. I got worried I missed mine. No. Oh, let me give you the rundown on why you probably have not missed yours real quick. It's really fun. That's why I'm going to bother to do it. Just a second. Let's have a look. Okay, so this may be a little inflated because I haven't gone through to check for duplicates recently. So this may be a few extra characters than the actual number. But currently, so far, I have 1,557 characters that have been submitted. And of those, 236 stories have been read live on stream. And every single one of those so far, until maybe today, I'm fairly certain every single person knew that their story was about to be read when I read it, because I make a reading list at the beginning of each stream, and then I read through and I skip people who have to leave, because that's nice for folks to be able to be here for that. Ezra, welcome back. Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure. I think I just checked and marked you down. Yes, you are back on the list. Yeah, my work is cut out for me. And yes, some stories do stand out, but I gotta tell you, there's so many of them, and I've read so many of them that I couldn't, things remind me of stories. But yeah, I mean, there are elements of stories for sure. Like, there was the Genie and the Frog parents, and then there was the Bard's mother. Like, there's so many different things that do stick out and are become memes. But yeah, how do you even pick? Randomly, I turn off usernames because I don't want to be influenced. In the most memorable, Jarl and Jarl. But I scroll through and I just click through stuff, and if I want to write if I'm feeling like I need to do something familiar, I have a way to filter for what I've already read through. And if I want to just randomly pick something, I just start scrolling and I start picking things out, and when something catches my eye, I start writing a song. So far, I've written one song. I've started a couple. I don't know if I'll finish them. One song is written. I need to finish producing it, and I'm already working with the person who's going to help me with the video for that one. Hopefully that's done in the next couple weeks, and the first character song can come out then. And I just have so many song projects going on at the moment that I have had trouble prioritizing whether to work on another character song, work on the next character class song, finish the next single that's coming out. You know, there's just so many things to be focusing on. And then D&D, of course. I want to actually play D&D. Anywho, yes, and this is why we have the bingo. Yeah, the Druid song. I think I'm a little sad because the Druid song feels a little short. I mean, they're all short because we're talking about 1-minute songs, but it feels a little short, but I don't feel like it needs more either. So I'm always scared with these character class songs. It's what if I nailed it? What if I didn't nail it, right? What if I wrote it wrong? Anyways. But the answer is always D&D, right? I think I'll try to make a nice write-up of my gay Austrian occultist. You should like her. I hope so. That sounds really fun. You have such fun insights on all the things. I love reading what you have to say in the collective Discord. Hello, Penthea. Focus on what's fun for you at the moment. Don't push yourself trying to please us. We can wait. Thank you, Rosie Posey. I appreciate it. Rin, before you have to go, can you tell me what your character name is so we can read that before you have to leave? Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with chat, and also my brain is... Yeah. Sing a tabaxi monk. Oh! That's what you said earlier. I was trying to understand that sentence earlier so hard. Your limit for fallen characters is easily my favorite. That one, I didn't make an announcement yet, but that one also has now hit 10,000 streams, so I will be writing a full version of that as well. Just FYI, you heard it here first. Oh, already one chat would be our way up to, so congrats on any amount of success. Thank you. I did not understand when you said sing my tabaxi monk. At first, I thought you were weirdly calling me a tabaxi monk. And I was just like, all right. I don't know what that means, but okay. But you meant sing my tabaxi monk as in my character. I was gonna bother you about that because I saw it at 10K the other day. Whew. Yes, it's at 10K. I will make an announcement about it, but I've been exhausted. I have not been prioritizing editing new videos lately or recording new videos other than like quickly asking about character classes. I've been trying to do like the easy thing. Anyways, I'm totally here. Yeah, I'm a fairy dragon bar, not a tabaxi. I am definitely taking care of myself. I'm mostly rambling about feeling like I feel bad when I'm not able to like spend more time on these things but I know we're gonna do what we can do. I'm gonna do what we can do. I can do, got an early lunch today, so I have a chance to actually watch. Hi, TJ. Have we read your character? I just want to make, okay, if you're in the chat, let's start here. I have on the list Ren, Ezra, Brooke, and Rosie Posey. If you are here and I have not read your character that you have submitted already, let me know, and I will add you to the list. It's been a while. Hi, Esther. Welcome, welcome. So valid. Take your time and allot it where you want. Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing what I can. It's hard because the thing is, like, if I had universal basic income access, it could just be based here, making my little songs, doing my little videos, 100%. That would be how I would want to live my life. But that's not a thing. Dynamic duo. Let me add you to the list. It's Reading Wednesday. Yippee! I feel like I said that like it sounded sarcastic, but I meant it sincerely. By the way, we're gonna read the monk in just a second. If you want to look up, I don't know how to say it out loud. It's red shanked. Is it Dukes? I'm typing it in the chat. It's a kind of monkey. I'm gonna make my imp familiar for my little roguelike. I'm gonna flavor my imp familiar Pact of the Chain as a monkey with like dragon wings, or maybe not dragon wings, but I think dragony type wings. And I looked at a lot of different kind of monkeys for visual. Hey Dungeon Master, welcome in. If you check my pinned video, you can learn all about it. There's no guarantee that you will get a song, but if you submit a character, that puts you in the running for a song. And yeah, if you check my pinned video, all the information is there. Hello friend, hello Dice Goblin. Yeah, Wizard of Oz style for sure, for my little pirate. Yeah, dang capitalism and immigration stuff for sure. Yeah, I had more things to say, but I have absolutely forgotten what it was. I can see an old school Ostropop song from my Viennese chemist. Unfortunately, the fuck is this shit? Twitch didn't see that, but I accidentally applied like a cowboy hat to myself on TikTok. We're gonna read this Tabaxi Monk story. I have completely lost. Where is this coming from? It was a baseball cap. Oh, you are doing this to me. Damn, Dice Goblin is doing this to me. I did not know this was possible. Oh, the confusion. Those are your gifts. It's the equestrian roots coming to haunt you. Goose, yes, please. Thank you. Sorry, I started doing that completely. Ooh. If you would all like to play bingo with me, bingo.dorker.tv, you can download a bingo card. Okay, the list is now Ren, Ezra, Brooke, Rosie, Polly, Dynamic Duo, and Goose. There's bingo! I actually just got hit by a Cap of Confusion spell. Yes, sorry. I am also crying. I am limited. to adventure folk pop style, which is my one genre. If you like my music and want to hear it done in other styles, you will need to connect me to the artists you want me to work with to get them to do it in that genre. I would like to work with metal artists, hyperpop people. Like, there's people who do lots of really cool stuff. Is Anne Liz an option? I feel like there is a trope. One of them is something like that. I don't know. Fucking cowboy hat out of nowhere. I didn't know that was the thing. Okay, so sorry. Sing! I suffer for the chaos that happens this early, distracts my brain from work. When we forget something, do we just fail the intelligence saving throw? Yeah, probably. Okay, bingo.dorko.tv. You can download a tropes card of your own. Let us read for Ren. Ren, are you still here? Are you still here? Have I dallied too long? I'm so sorry. Did I get a crown and I missed it? Little crown. I did not know these things were an option. Whoo! Did Ren have to go? Ren! Sing the tabaxi! Okay. Didn't want to, like, I was like, I'm pretty sure, but, like, okay, we're gonna read for Ren, sing a tabaxi drunken master monk. He is 32 years old. Party roll, dad of the group, a little reluctant to share their own story, but willing to listen and help with others. Hi, Max, it's been a bit. Welcome back. Backstory. They used to travel with their clan and partner, but they were attacked and killed, all except Sing. That's a lot. Sing is blind from birth, so does not know who or what killed his family. He wants to protect others from meeting the same fate. Ooh. That's rough right out the gate. Story arc. They are overcoming alcoholism with help from their party. Recently saved a town from gnolls and was mistaken for one when arriving in town. His party made sure that the townfolk were corrected and helped him make peace. Oh. Anecdote. When meeting his party, he stepped in when the cleric accidentally spilt a drink on another patron by spilling his own drink on the loud fellow and then beating him in a fist fight when he wouldn't back down. Let me negotiate. Pow! That escalated quickly. Character details. Favorite sound is wind in the trees. Oh. Favorite pastime is listening to his party share stories. Hates loud, obnoxious people. Will cut into fights that sound unfair to help out. Struggles with drinking too much. Has 3 long scratch-like scars along his face. Catchphrase is probably, if I've told you once, I shouldn't have to tell you again. I love it. I love Sing the Tabaxi Monk. No, Rosie Posey, don't worry about it. We'll be fine. We'll get there. It'll be good. This is an adorable character, an absolute icon. It's rough. I talk about things like I have time and energy to do any more than what I'm already barely being able to do. I would love to like do a small series on like storytelling. Not that I am an expert storyteller. I think I just love storytelling and I read a lot of stories and I sometimes write stories and I definitely participate in storytelling through songwriting. So anyways, I think it would be really fun at some point to do some kind of series talking about storytelling and like how do you summarize a very large story? Because a lot of people have told me they struggle to consolidate their very 5-year campaign character into this very short submission, for example. So yeah, I would love to like share stuff like that because even if it's not just for my thing, So I don't know if and when I will ever actually do that, but I think it would be a fun series to do at some point, because storytelling is something we all do. Even if it's just with our friends, or if we're posting content, or, you know, submitting stories to other people to write them for us. You know, there's just a lot of fun things. I don't know. Yeah, hitting the main points. Yeah, and really, like, for me, this is about understanding the essence of the character and having a few specific things to like, write a song about. There's so much I left out of the summarizing. Yeah, and I understand that completely. Like, trust me. But for me, I don't need to know every intimate detail of the character, because for me, this is about writing, like, again, like, it's evolved a bit, but it's really, like, when I first started asking for these stories, it was just to be able to write a song. And I'm not writing ballads of their entire lives. I'm picking one small element of their story, and then trying to turn that into a song. But Ren, thank you so much for coming. I'm glad we got to go get your story in. But I want you to know, and the thing is, I know you're not joking, and I also would love to know, the thing is, if you recall the number I said earlier, it's over 1,500. We're like at some ridiculous number of submissions, and I literally would need someone to be paying me full time to read through all of those, actually, let alone if I had to read even longer versions of those stories. So I also want to know. I just cannot. All right. Ezra. I was saying I can never sit through that many. I love them. I genuinely just love... Oh, TJ, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize you had a story we hadn't read yet. Let me make sure you are on here. You will be probably very next, actually, because you've been here before. And we're on the last one. So right now, Ezra. Hello. That would be such a dream job, right? I read a homebrew fail. Like, failed. That's not what you said, though. Homebrew fiend. Makes a lot more sense. But TJ, you would be next, actually. Since you have been here before. Okay, let me read the list again real quick. Ezra, TJ, Brooke, Rosie Posey, the Dynamic Duo, and Goose. If you've been here with a character submitted already, I try to check it off so that you get accounted for and get bumped up the list. I wish I would have added in how Hikari is reincarnated soul that's cursed to be unalive by 25. I was convinced, not to like get too real here, I didn't think I was going to make it past 25 for a long time. I didn't think I was going to do it. I just was convinced that I was destined not to live past 25. And, well, I'm turning 35 in a couple of months. So I'm really happy that that is the case. And there was just, I didn't see a future for myself beyond that, actually. Again, I didn't have plans. Just putting that out there. I did not have plans on making that the case. I just didn't see a future beyond that, and I didn't expect it to happen for whatever reason. I don't know. I just figured something would happen. Anyways, yeah, I 25. Yeah, I was reading a comment about a different character. And then made a personal comment about it. No worries. Nobody worry about it. Yeah, 10 bonus years, at least. Okay, reading for... The smile lines are amazing, though. Reading for Ezra, we have Morakir, a homebrew scorpion fiend called Zacian. Is it Zacian or Zacian? Zacian? I'm not sure how to say it. A homebrew scorpion fiend called Zacian. College of Spirits Bard / Grave Domain Cleric. Pronouns are other. And age is 21. Party role. Kind-hearted storyteller. Aw. Mood, I didn't think I'd make 20, but here we are, 23, figuring it out as we go. Hell yeah. I can't pronounce it properly myself half the time. All right, then I won't worry about it too much. Backstory. Morakir comes from a small town in the mountains that hosts a yearly harvest festival to honor spirits. During one festival, they lost control over their... Oh, I forgot to do bingo! I'm so sorry. We're going to reread this sentence, but we're going to need to do bingo for the previous character as well. During one festival, they lost control over their natural hunger, and it ended with an event called the Spirit Massacre. That doesn't sound good. Ever since, Morkir has been searching for a way to permanently suppress the constant hunger for human flesh. Oh. Didn't think I'd make 18, but here I am at 20. I'm so glad that you are all still here. Just FYI, I'm really glad that y'all are still here. I'm glad I'm still here, and I'm glad y'all are still here. Okay, well, that escalated quickly as the first character trope bingo card square that I have, and I think that applies both last time and this time. Criminal activity? I mean, that's not criminal, but that's not really what I had in mind for criminal activity. Forgotten past, sibling trauma, parents looking for them, surprise siblings. I have a lot of family-related things. Abandoned as a child. Hey, Anne. Hi, dreams. From chat to story is major whiplash. I love it. His hunger for what? Jarl. Ooh, shiny tavern brawl. Oh, there was definitely tavern brawls in that last one. Sacrifices self, trauma, of course. Revenge, tricked by villain. He was out for revenge last time. Mistaken identity, mind control, evil to good redemption arc, kidnapping. Accidental leader of a cult, planar travel. I'm rating my trope boxes. White hair, converted class or subclass, leading a revolution, uncontrollable or wild magic. That's what made me remember the bingo card. Oh, I'm gonna be hitting all these bingos. I'm gonna take it to a bingo box. Yeah, and everyone has a different one. There are, like, if you download your own, you'll have your own list. I think there's like 100 possible tropes. And there's only 25 per, that's math, right? 555. There's only 25 per bingo card. Yeah. Okay, that was the backstory. I feel like I'm interrupting myself extra today. Story arc. He is fighting against not only himself, but a god of chaos who entered his head after he destroyed an artifact. He is also trying to regain the party's trust after almost killing them multiple times due to certain circumstances. They recently got better gear from a town and saved a young beast child from a beast master, along with adopting a pet displacer cub. They are determined yet disappointed in himself due to his past actions. How is this like a precious fiend? Hi, Vel. Welcome in. I'm doing well. The little displacer kitty. Also, dreams, I'm doing well. Bingo's going amazingly, swimmingly. I do post these in the Discord as well. If you are over 18 and you are not yet in the Discord, feel free to join. It's just 18 and up for internet safety reasons. It's not like a particularly adult Discord otherwise. Bingo.dorko.tv. Hello, Albine. Alrighty. Where was I? Oh yeah, I already was like, hold on, there was something else. Does this count as an evil to good redemption arc? I feel like the evil was not like intentional. It feels like it was uncontrollable. I know there is one that's like betrayal, but I don't have that one. Mind control, I think I'm gonna count that for this story. Character flood. Character stories are going well. I know Bingo doesn't specify. Okay. Anecdote. I do have tricked by a villain, but see, tricked is different. I'm trying to go with the spirit that I meant when I put these on, but I'll leave your squares up to your own interpretation. Like, you get to decide what you think each square means. I am not here to gatekeep tropes bingo. I rolled my wisdom saving poorly quite a few times. Oh, okay. We read anecdote. No, we're on anecdote. We read story arc. Anecdote. The party was trying to get an artifact from an old temple. I can read Morakir correctly, apparently, but not temple. Collecty. Hi, thank you. I'm glad you love the songs. All right, let's try reading this again. The party was trying to get an artifact from an old temple, and Morakir ended up being separated before completely losing control and hunting the rest of the party through a labyrinth. Oh no! I have to imagine they survived. That's so bad. Whew, that's rough. That's terrifying. That's like a horror movie right there. Character. Wow. It's my reading skills are really devolving really quickly today. Character. Character. I'm stuck on that. Why am I repeating that so many times? Character details. Character details. His favorite colors are ruby red and royal purple. His favorite pastime is playing his guitar and telling stories through songs. His top pet peeve is being accused of something they didn't do. His best habit, depending on who you're talking to, is asking about others' well-being. How is this this fiend is a bean? Purple! I helped design the labyrinth with my own personal shortcuts. It was a horror section. Oh my god. That's kind of fun, though. That's pretty cool. How fun. I feel like this would be a really difficult character for me to play because I have a hard time making my characters do anything intentionally, like, mean. But it also sounds like a lot of fun. I would personally struggle to play this character, but it sounds like a character that would be very fun to play. Especially, like, you know, when everyone's on board for that kind of dynamic. How cool. Thank you, Ezra. I'm glad I said your character's name right, by the way. I saw you said that, and then I didn't actually acknowledge it, and thank you. Purple! Okay, that was Ezra. TJ! TJ, what's your character's name? Bloop, bloop. Glaz? The kobold. My girlfriend plays a kobold. Alchemist. I think I found him. Is it Glaz or like glaze? Like glaze. Glaze like glass? Glaz? Did I say it right on the first try? Excellent. All right. Look at me. I'm nailing names today. The Dirt Dragons. Glaz. Like Glaz. Perfect. Glaz, the Kobold Artificer Alchemist. He is 19 years old. Party roll. Loot Goblin for the purpose of being prepared. Supports the rest of the group and can sometimes be chaotic in his choices. Backstory. Glaz was a kobold enslaved by the Drow after they rose to the surface following the death of Lolth and a virus she created and spread in her final moments. He and his fellow kobolds are, for whatever reason, the only race naturally immune to the virus, Etterpox, or Lolth's gift. Kobolds were used by the Drow, I keep switching how I say that, by the Drow as drones, experimenting with the virus directly and being workhorses. During his slavery, Glaz picked up bits and pieces of how to speak common, just enough to get by. In the same manner, he studied how the Drow created potions, stealing small scraps of material and ingredients and experimenting in his den. Eventually, he became skilled enough to arm his fellow kobolds held at this camp and led a revolution. That's on my bingo card. I'm marking it off before I forget. Hi, Clinda. He managed to escape, but sadly lost many kobold friends in the fight. Now, free from the Drow, he has promised himself to free as many other kobolds as he can. Sadly, this seemed to be a pipe dream, as he was eventually recaptured until his transport wagon was caught in a chase with a group of adventurers. You submitted your Austrian lady? Yes, very good. Love to hear it. Viva la revolution! I messed that up. Viva la France! All right. The story arc. We're going to take a sip. Stay hydrated. Story arc. Glaz was freed from his captors by the rest of the party, and seeing more people fighting the drow, immediately came to their aid. Learning that the party was heading to a supposedly safe location where a cure may be present for the use of the party's hiring NPC, the Baroness, and the party mother, a one-armed human doctor named Magent. I was going to say Magnet. Named Magent. He hoped to find more of his kobold kind as well. Glaz, for the first time in his life, learned about the outside world, and in turn he slowly began to learn what a true family felt like, not one made through the bonds of slavery, but through shared interests and friendship. As they traveled the continent, he was faced against many threats. In addition to the drow, a beholder infected with a malicious fungus, a blood hag creating an army of faceless puppets out of the parents of children whom she ate, and the mutant hordes of Ettercap sprouting up across the land through Lulth's gifts. Good lord. Fighting through all of that and brushing with death when fighting the blood hag, the party arrived at the Healing Waters Monastery, a place where the party was treated for their infections, and Glaz was not only reunited with 36 kobold, but his studies on Etterpox and the creation of a temporary antidote that helped lead researchers in the right direction for a cure. Sadly, all things came to a head when it was discovered that not only was a drow high priest, Darkblade, hiding within the monastery and creating an army of Ettercaps, but the abundance of kobolds were for the sole purpose of draining them of all their blood as a sort of blood transfusion to cure the infected. All that work, and what did it get me? In an act of defiance, Glaz and his party freed all the kobolds from the monastery, thank God, and rushed into Darkblade's cave. Glaz dealing the killing blow to an evil mastermind. Why did I do it? Oh no. Yep. Oh no. Oh no. Well, we're going from trauma to worse trauma, what seems like it's going to be even worse trauma. Freeing the kobolds was a deadly mistake for Glaz, though. Darkblade had kidnapped a small child from the same village Magent came from, and infected him with an incurable and highly mutagenic strain of Etterpox. In a final act of kindness, as thanks for the party showing him what a true family was, he allowed his blood to be drained into the small child, sacrificing him so that the boy may live a full life. Well then. Pretty sure sacrifice his self is one of the potential tropes. I have that. Yep, there it is right there. Just gonna check that off. That was the first time I cried in a D&D campaign. It was such a good ending for him, though. I mean, he did what he set out to do. It was awful and it cost him his life, but he accomplished his goals. Like, he really did what he set out to do. That is a good ending for him, like, as far as that's concerned. I was sad AF. Yeah, total respect. Jeez Louise. Anecdote. After fighting against the fungus beholder, Glaz realized how hindered Magent was with only one arm, having to drop her shield to equip her sword and vice versa. He would later learn that Magent cut off her own arm to stop the spread of Etterpox when she became infected. To help his new friend, he began to work on a prosthetic arm, eventually creating one of the most advanced prosthetics the Doctor and the Wizard had ever seen. If you have Too Good for This World on your bingo card, you should be checking it off if you didn't already. Oh, I just saw Zurg over here. I hope I'll have motivation to make a portrait of her at some point as well. Absolutely, I hope so. Best part, the DM started his campaign in the same universe. 300 years later, Glaz is remembered. That's amazing. Character details. Glaz unknowingly has gem dragon heritage, explaining his draw to gemstones and other shiny things. Explaining his draw to gemstones and other shiny things, such as the potions he created. He gave himself the name Glaz after mishearing the word glass. It is Glaz like glass. Despite being brash to the point and a bit of a loot hoarder, he always tries to put his friends first with his creations and ensure that they have extra tools or advantages. Glaz spoke common very poorly upon his first meeting with the party, speaking slowly and fragmented, large words really tripping him up. Glaz, think we should go. He only learned to speak common fluently during his week spent at the monastery after being tortured by the hobgoblin wizard, human ranger, and deep gnome warlock Barnabas, Snake, and Grimble, respectively. Anytime Glaz and his group were faced with a difficult battle ahead of them, Glaz would simply bare his teeth in a smile and say with confidence, "Glaz, fight!" Tutored! I said it's tutored after being tutored. Did I say tortured? I'm so sorry. Let's read that again. He only learned to speak common fluently during his week spent at the monastery after being tutored by the hobgoblin after being I can't even read it anymore. After being tutored by the hobgoblin wizard, human ranger, and deep gnome. Well, if you have a Jarl, you can just mark that right on off. I mean, the Ranger Snake used silvery barbs on me to remake int checks. I know, I'm just adding trauma in where there wasn't any. I was like, damn, I would not learn a new language well under torture, but... That's pretty funny. You're like, that doesn't sound right. I don't think he was tortured by those people. We get a cute happy guy and we make him suffer. Oh, man. Oh. All right, TJ, thanks so much for joining. I'm glad we got to read yours before you left. Tortured. Brooke. What's your character's name? I've got Brooke, Rosie Posey, Dynamic Duo, and Goose left on the list. I mean, if you think about it, math tutoring is kind of like torture. You're not wrong, Nightstraw. Right, Aurora. Yes. Oh boy, we got, is it Aurora the Vampire? I've got an Aurora Cleric Paladin, an Aurora Rogue, an Aurora Wizlock Wizard, a Wizlock, an Aurora Barbarian Vampire, an Aurora Paladin, and an Aurora Monk. Vampire Barbarian, perfect. Yeah, math is terrible. Math is where I think I lost a lot of my self-confidence as a child. I was homeschooled. I'm just going to drop a lot of personal lore today, apparently. I was homeschooled, and my mom's strength is not math, so my dad, who has not a lot of patience, taught me, and I felt very stupid for a long time. And to this day, I carry some of that with me. What's the most popular name? Like, what's the fantasy version of John Smith? That's a great question. I haven't done that research yet. I don't know. A lot of Auroras. It's like Comic-Con specific TV show meetup, but they all misheard the show. Okay. Reading for Brooke, we have Aurora, a vampire, barbarian / vampire as a class. She/hers 25 years old. Star-themed names. We're okay. One day I will get therapy. Party role, reluctant leader. She stepped up and made the hard choices and did what needed to be done in the moments that were critical, and everyone else froze. Chaotic good. Backstory. Background, haunted one. She has no memory of her human life before. She woke up in a dungeon inside the castle Ravenloft with no memory of who she was or how she got there. She was left chained up and starving. Once she eventually made her escape, she blacked out and went on a murderous rampage a murderous rampage to quench her new thirst for blood. She slaughtered children, families, and any unlucky soul who crossed her path. After the bloodthirsty massacre, she came to her senses and realized what she had done. Her heart heavy with guilt, realizing what she had become, she was determined to find out who had turned her into this monster and kill them. That's when she met the group of adventurers who stumbled into her town called Barovia. As they were being attacked by other vampires, she stepped in to help, and that was how their adventure began. I sounded southern. Yeah, there's many. Yeah. Barovia gang! It's great for me because I feel like I get to start picking up on the lore for different, like, when I first started playing D&D a few years ago, we jumped really quickly. We did the Phandelver, like the Phandelver's Mines one, and then we jumped right into my brother's homebrew campaign, and then we've been playing, like, not quite homebrew, but like a lot of, like community prepared one-shots that became a campaign with another group. And mostly I've not been playing like proper D&D lore stories or campaigns. So this has been a lot of fun for me because I get to start recognizing names and like the actual established lore for things like the Feywild. I thought the Feywild, I did not understand the Feywild when I set up my Eldrin elf who's from the Feywild. I thought the Feywild was like, a country. And then I learned it's a freaking, plane. I don't understand the Underdark. Yeah, I don't understand a lot of things. But that's also true in real life, so I guess I shouldn't feel that bad. Alright. Story arc. After discovering that Barovia was cursed and that all who entered could never leave, you can check out anytime you want, but you can never leave. And and also that Aurora was the doppelganger of Tatiana, the woman Strahd, the vampire lord who changed her, is trying to capture and marry. Alright, if you have kidnapping, if you have doppelganger shenanigans, those are... She and her new friends fight with everything they have to escape this terrible fate and end this curse that has been brought on this town. Throughout their journey, Aurora begins to feel sympathy for Strahd and comes to understand that she may have to make the ultimate sacrifice to save the rest of the town and her friends by giving herself over to the vampire lord. Welcome to the Hotel Barovia. Do, 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 do. Any time of year. Oh, buddy. Come here. Just a second. Come here. It's okay. You have lost roaming privileges. Would you like to read the story? No, you're good, Brooke. You're good. Bilbo will read it for me. You gonna read it for me? Want to finish it? Here, you just speak right into there. He's a little buffy right now. People being in the hallways. But if we close the door, he usually chills out. Why do you always act so sleepy and tired once I get you over here? He's running around like a little... Hey. Can we relax? You can lay here. Do you need to get down? Is that your prerogative? We adopted him from an agency, and we do not know his exact breed. See you later, Dolly. It was good to see you. He's from Portugal, and very likely some kind of Podenco, perhaps Dachshund, perhaps Chihuahua, perhaps Mini Pinster. I almost started talking in German there. Vielleicht. Yes, we're not certain. But he's from Portugal. Podencos are a fairly popular breed that often get left behind. Like they're very highly abandoned breeds there, though. Like it's a popular breed, but that's also why. Rat Terrier Chihuahua and looks exactly like them. Are you in my Discord? I would love to see a picture. Because like the little mini pinchers is what we've... I'm gonna need to look that up. Because we don't know. We're always super curious. If you are not required to join, but we have a pets channel in here if you're 18 and up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sacrificing self to Strahd to save the party. Although the rest of the party insists that there has to be another way, she knows deep down they are probably wrong. Towards the end of their journey, they actually end up convincing Strahd that he should give up on this obsession with having Tatiana. She explains to him that he can never truly have someone who is never his to begin with, and that you can't force someone to love you. He reluctantly agrees and tells them that he will help end the curse on this town. He has grown tired of the chase, he admits. This path includes killing the Overlord vampire, the entity that turned Strahd and placed the curse on this town. The beginning of all vampirism started with this entity. With one big final and almost fatal battle against this entity, when all hope felt lost, Strahd appears just in time to help them defeat the vampire. After the Overlord had been defeated, Strahd's form began to fade as he turned to ash. He smiled at Aurora and said goodbye, his final words admitting he finally understood that she was never his, as he gestures and looks over to Emmerich, the half-elf druid in their party, and the person he knows Aurora has strong affections for, and that he was sorry. He turned to Ash in her hands, and she placed the crown he once wore on her head. The party goes to access the town, and they watch the clouds over Barovia begin to clear, the sun finally shining once again, and in that moment, Aurora smiles in victory before she begins to feel her body weaken. She stumbles back into the temple and falls to her knees. Emmerich takes her into his arms, his eyes filled with tears. What they didn't know was that by ending this entity vampire, it meant ending all vampires, including her. She looks into Emmerich's eyes and caresses his face. With her final words, she tells him to make sure that everyone knows what he, meaning Strahd, did in the end to help. Then she falls to ashes, plunging her into eternal darkness as she died. Well then, this is a dramatic romance novel. I would read the shit out of it. Everybody at the table was crying. Yeah. Yeah. I was shocked. It didn't occur to me at all that that would happen. I know we're all getting the feels today. Athena says, nope, time for the alt fanfic. The character is a musicology student obsessed with ancient music and pentatonic scales. That's really cool. I know the pile just keeps piling up. Hello, what is a name? Oh, man. All right, anecdote. Aurora struggled to control her thirst and is constantly in a state of fight or flight, as to not turn on her new friends or any other innocents. At one point early on in their adventure, she had fallen unconscious, clinging to life, when one of the party members, Emmerich, a half-elf druid, gave her some of his blood to revive her. When she came back to consciousness, she realized she had more self-control than she thought, as she didn't immediately lash out on him. This act created a bond between the druid and herself, and it was very confusing, for she didn't know if it was his blood she craved or a genuine connection that she longed for. Aurora and Emmerich have had an unspoken connection and bond throughout the whole campaign, neither of them ever admitting their true feelings. Aurora, mostly because she knew her fate would probably end in death, but also, how could someone love her? And on Emmerich's side, while she lay dying in his arms, he realized he never got the chance to tell her how he really felt for her, and now he never would. He regrets that. All right, Athena, that's more fuel for your fanfic. Ooh, I gotta go see puppy. You are right, though. I'm gonna have to look up this breed. She lives. I have spoken, says Athena. Yeah, no, but you're right. They do look extremely similar, which is part of like, yeah, we have thoughts on different breeds he could be, for sure. Character details. Favorite color, golden yellow. The color of Emmerich's eyes. I wish I could tell you the percentage of how many of the favorite colors have to do with like a loved one, whether it's their parent or like a romantic partner or a best friend. So many character favorite colors are based on a partner or other relationships' eye color or hair color. Oh, that's really cool. Nice. It's so good. Mentally making headcanon so your characters don't have trauma. Favorite pastime. The time the party played Truth or Dare in a tavern and Aurora realized she cared about the future of her friends and lives more than her own. The first time she ever realized she felt anything other than rage. Pet peeves. Vanity. She doesn't remember what she looked like before, and since the change, she's never been able to see her own reflection. I never thought about that. Makes sense, though. She has no idea how beautiful she is, though she desperately wishes to see herself again, only not as a monster. Awesome habit. She loves poetry and books. Scars. She has scars on both her wrists from the chains she was locked in. She wears gloves to cover her claws and scars. She often tries to hide her monstrous form so as not to scare people or have them make assumptions. Catchphrase. Doesn't really have a catchphrase, but would often mock Strahd by calling him an old man, and it drove him nuts. Beautiful. Beautiful. Hello, nerdy AF cosplayer. I raise you making headcanons so that your characters have more trauma. That's basically like when I sit and I stress about things that haven't happened yet and may never happen. Alright, Trapala, thank you so much for hanging, and good luck with the wig. You are so welcome, Brooke. Thank you for submitting. I'm making a safe space for all the characters. Yeah, they need it. Rosie Posey. What is your character's name? Hit me with your character's name. Hit me with your character's name. Oh, Rosalis. Hello, dorks with wigs. Yes, I am not sure how long I will go today, but I will add you to the list. Trying to take it easy today. I am le taillard. The Triton. Does that sound right? When they're all happy and free. Okay. More Bevy Raj. Wishing if I had my chapstick. I'm sure we'll be good. Alright, reading for Rosie Posey, we have Rosalis Rovaloth. Nicknames include Fishy and Waterflower. That's adorable. A Triton Bard. He is 23 years old. Party roll. Oh yeah, dorko.tv/discord. The only rule is it's 18 and up. I mean, there are community rules, but like, it's not worth joining if you're not 18 and older. because that is one of the primary and only defining for sure. No thank yous. Okay. Party roll. The sharp-tongued goober, often getting the group into trouble with his tongue, but getting the group right back out of trouble with his blade. I have to stop making jokes on the internet. That's the jokes I could make. Ezra, thanks so much for hanging. That's awesome. Make the joke. I also get my group into trouble with my tongue. All right, backstory. We have... He was abandoned on the shore by his father at age 10 for not being to Triton standards. He was found by a circus troupe and raised by them, becoming a bard. He wishes to make a proper name for himself and prove he's worthy to the world, but mainly prove his father wrong, and that artistic talents can be a strength and not a distraction or weakness. I think abandonment is on mine. I think kidnapping was also on a different story. Parents are looking for them. Reverse that. Sibling trauma? No. Abandoned as a child. There it is. There it is. I just need tricked by villain into committing evil for a full plate. A bingo, as it were. Ooh, and also surprise siblings would do the trick. Story arc. Uncovered a hidden crime ring among the capital city. Discovered the person behind it was named the Viper, but never managed to meet them face to face. Eventually tracked them down across the empire, only to find out that the Viper was a silly shopkeeper called No Dice. They had befriended long ago and had been going to for information. Eventually had to kill them to stop the crime ring, inadvertently causing a war that they fought in for 6 days and successfully won. He still has not been able to prove himself to his father, even after captaining a fleet to kill some pirates plaguing the Triton population. His father still disapproves no matter how hard Rosalys seemingly tries. Rosalys, through the help of the group, eventually found that he doesn't have to have the approval of his father to know he's a successful warrior and a good person. That is tricked by Big Bad, though. You're so right! Bingo! Also, Forgotten Past. That's a double bingo. Forgotten Past was for the other vampire, the lady who we all cried about. Anecdote. Aurora. That's the one. Anecdote. Came across a hag in a bog who tried to get us to work for her, otherwise we'd be killed. Rosalys made a snide remark about her mother and angered her, initiating a fight. Rosalys ended the fight by chasing after the hag to her hideout and cornering her, using hideous laughter to knock her prone, and then slice her with his magic rapier called Shark's Bane. Amazing. Character details. He likes making your mother jokes, oftentimes too much to the annoyance of the group. He's got a silver tongue, but often forgets to put it to good use. He hates seeing people eat seafood, and he often gets physically repulsed by it, even though he himself eats it. He's quite adept at the lyre, often playing songs to keep spirits up in tough times. Amazing. Make the joke, Anne. I don't remember what the exact joke was. Something about putting your tongue to good use. Well, he's a Triton. So I was gonna say it makes sense if he doesn't want to eat seafood because he feels like those are, his people. But he eats it. I am still looking for feedback on the sorcerer player class on my most recent video, Nicole. In general, I'm still accepting character stories, but I don't need only sorcerers on that one. So it depends on what you meant. Da, 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 dun 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 bum 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 bum. Thank you, Rosie Posey, for sharing. I did finish reading that, right? Sorry. It's just like got lost in my brain. How's the list looking? Great question. Well, let me double check. Nope, that was it. We did read it all. We did read it all. Dun 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 dun. I played a sorcerer once in an online game and had to scrap it when the GM turned up at my house. Oh no. Took white hair off though? Yes. We'll do that. It does go so fast sometimes. Yeah, that's a big no. Vel, since you have waited so many times, the list would put you up next if you want to tell me your character's name. Actually. You can technically tick off surprise siblings. I will take a technicality. I love a bingo. Dun 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 dun. Coralia von Tark. Coralia. Learn to pick what groups more carefully. That and never off roll 20. That is so terrifying. Is Corey the nickname, or is Corey Fontark like... Because Coralia Fontark is what I'm reading as the full name, and then Corey being the nickname. That is a cool last name. I've got funny energy going right now. All right, reading for Vel, we have Coralia von Tark, also known as Corey. Coralia von Tark, nickname Corey. A Glazian tiefling, chronergy wizard, alchemist, artificer. She, hers, 56 years old. Tiefling! The first one was right. Coralia. Coralia von Tark. Party roll. The one with all the answers. Party mom. I read that backwards. But you know how it is. Sometimes we read things out of order. My voice is doing fine today. I am just exhausted, so I don't know how many more we're gonna do. Backstory. Corey was living in the small town of Riva. Corey was living in the small town of Riva when she began hunting down the predators of men that were the heads of town, that were protected by the vampiric town lord that allowed them to prey on the girls and women of the town without a second thought. She was accused of being a witch and was to be burned at the stake, but when they attempted to hunt them down, the townspeople and anything in a 100-foot radius froze in time. Frozen for 24 years since Corey has been on the run. Oh man. Story arc. Corey and the rest of her group, the Killjoys apothecary and physician. Wow. I'm gonna try that again. The Killjoys apothecary and physician, or the Killjoys for short, have been forced together by the rupture of an ion stone that now occupies each of their minds with the soul of a lich. The lich, whom they've named Chum, is slowly taking over their souls with his own. In an attempt to slow this, Corey and a very powerful cleric named Ghostforge were able to combine Were able to combine the party members to bolster their strength of their souls against Choom, buying them more time. In the moment where the souls were the strongest during reforging, Coralia was able to freeze time around the souls, keeping them at their highest strength for as long as possible. All right, Rosie Posey, have a good one. Bye. Anecdote. Oh, man. Anecdote. Corey raised an eyebrow at the young drow man as he proclaimed his goddess to be guiding him to protect her. Yes, and listen to this. Feeling without questioning it at all? Hold on, I gave that a terrible inflection. I'm going to try this again. Here we go. Yes, and listen to this. Feeling without questioning it at all? The witch questioned, lifting the veil that kept her face from being perceived by the others around her, colorless eyes lowering at the drow before her. Well, no, I never questioned my goddess, the man responded, his thick drawl that I cannot do, coding each word in the inherent ignorance that Coralia couldn't question. You're not an inherently bright man, are you? Define bright. The growl that echoed through the witch's voice as she snapped towards the lich that inhabited not only her mind, but the minds of each of her party members. Choom, if I have to clean up another one of your messes across Terra, I'm ripping you out of my head myself. Why are you sorry? I'm sorry. I can't do voices very well, I say, wishing to try to do more voices. Character details. Color, emerald green. Magic color, deep cobalt blue. Favorite pastime, developing weapons for her party. Pet peeve, men speaking towards her. Oh. Awesome habit, able to figure out the craziest solution to any problem. Annoying habit, cannot hide her emotions to save her life. Notable traits, Corey seems almost to be monochrome, blue and white, almost like all the color from her was removed. Her spellbook is etched into her skin as tattoos, fading after a rest if she fully falls asleep. The tattoos take the form of intricate alchemic circles all across her skin. And then the quote, I think I know how to do it. It might kill us, but I think I can. Oh, amazing. Fantastic. Okay. This is a little earlier than usual. But I'm pretty much losing my steam, y'all. I think I would be wise to end it here. I know we only have a few more, but I am tired. And hopefully we can get y'all next week. Yeah, I may technically like be in bed and then just like on my laptop, but that's gonna be way more relaxing. To chill. I feel like I've reached a very weird level of energy where like, yeah, I could keep going and do this, but I think it will exhaust. I think I'll take a level of exhaustion for that. Let me add the next. I totally forgot to do this because again, I'm a little loopy at the moment. Hold on. Lore to legend. I'm going to add it on TikTok, but yes, the answer to that question is it always Wednesdays at this time? Basically, there will be some Wednesdays next month because I'm traveling that we will not be doing. But in general, I am doing these every Wednesday, and I'm going to be adding, you'll see I'm adding an event here on TikTok, story hour, that you'll be able to register for, and it will tell you your time in your time zone that I'm doing this. March, not May, 13. It's 6:30 my time that we get started. And we go for, not today, 2 hours, but in general, 2 hours. Reading your original character stories. Create. So that will be available on my TikTok events thing if you go to my profile, and you can register there, and TikTok should remind you. Otherwise, if you're in my Discord, I do have a repeating event set up so that it will just translate to your time zone, so you can always know and understand when that's coming your time. And I just find that a lot easier to do and reliable, because it will adjust for any strange time jumps or whatever, because with all the silly back and forth time stuff. But yeah, I will do my best to stay healthy. I think this will be the wise choice for me to end a little earlier than usual. Thank you all so much for being so supportive. Thank you for hanging and letting me read your stories. I always have such a good time, and even though, yes, I'm a bit tired and I will need to end a little early, this is such a highlight of my week to come here, even when I don't remember what day it is and I'm sounding like, oh my god, it's Wednesday, we're gonna read stories. Just such a great time for me, and I love this project, and I love doing this, and I love that we can do this in a way that even when I'm not able to always be actively like writing and releasing songs, that we can be hanging out and talking about your characters and just having such a wonderful time. So I have really loved how this is going. I got double bingo. I'll be posting that in the Discord as well. But yeah, I thank you so much for everything. And take good care of yourselves. Also, like, don't push yourselves too hard either. And yeah, I plan to be here next week unless I'm actually unwell. And have a great weekend, y'all. See you in the Discord and on TikTok videos and all the rest. So thanks for the chill time. Thank you for hanging. Yeah, everyone take care. I will try to, I'm ending a little earlier because I'm exhausted. There's another half hour usually, but I will try to get both last week's VOD and this week's VOD out sooner than later. It should be hopefully possible. I'm not recovering from caffeine withdrawals or anything this time, so hopefully those will come out in the next day or two. But yeah, just barely. I'm ending a little early. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I do that at least once every stream. Bye! I'm gonna actually end now. Thank you so much for everything. I'll see you all around. Thanks for the hats. Okay, bye for real.